Is this man ready to be commander-in-chief? Absolutely not.
Glory be to God. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the pussy.
When Donald Trump is a con artist.
Guy who has made a career out of telling people lies.
I'm a never Trump guy. I never liked him.
I'll tell you what I really think of Donald Trump. This man is a pathological liar. He doesn't know the difference between truth and lies.
What is your reaction to hearing what Donald Trump says?
Disgusted. So here's what I think. I think Donald Trump is a political car wreck. He's a race-baiting, xenophobic, religious bigot. That he's a jackass.
A narcissist.
You know, he's a very petty man, and it's all about him. He has a very fragile ego, and things would start moving toward chaos.
I'm sorry. Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah, I'll imitate Donald Trump. Okay, first thing we gotta do is get rid of anything that's cool. So sunglasses gotta go. Next thing we gotta do is turn our back to everybody or on everybody. So now that I got the comb over, and I'm official Trumpetized, Trump-a-media running wild with a comb over. Oh, wait a minute, there's a flap of wind. Cover the bald spot. Hold on, brother. Whoa, whoa, whoa. God, turn the wind off. This is Donald Trump. Whoa.
Carlson expressed an intense dislike of former President Donald Trump in the wake of the 2020 election. Quote, "We are very, very close to being able to ignore Trump most nights. I truly can't wait. I hate him passionately."
Trump is Hitler.
Donald Trump wants to be the dictator, the monarch, the Führer, the king. That's what he aspires to be. And when he says that he's going to be dictator on day one.
He says, "You're not going to be a dictator, are you?" I said, no, other than day one.
All hail the king. That's what Donald wants. He wants to be like Mohammed bin Salman. He wants to be like Kim Jong-un or like Vladimir Putin.
I don't want a president who's going to praise dictators by saying Kim Jong-un is his friend.
Dear friend, General Mark Milley, one of the most decent men I've ever known. And he described Trump as a fascist to the core, the most dangerous person in the country.
John Kelly is Secretary of Homeland Security, is Chief of Staff.
He's certainly an authoritarian and admires people who are dictators. He has said that. So he certainly falls into the general definition of fascist.
You know what Mr. Trump is? He is a racist, he is a con man, and he is a cheat.
In a pattern that I think is straight out of a psychology textbook. Whatever he does, he accuses everyone else of doing.
They're a bunch of cheats.
We'll win on Tuesday unless there's cheating.
If we can keep that cheating down, because they're a bunch of cheats. They are fighting so hard to steal this damn thing. And then they accuse you of being a conspiracy theorist. He's a conspiracy. And they want to lock you up. They want to put you in jail. The ones that should be locked up are the ones that cheat on these horrible elections that we go through in our country. Bunch of crooked people. These are crooked people. There's only one reason, and that's to cheat. There is no other reason. There's no other reason. And they do cheat.
Trump began sowing doubts about the 2024 election results after years of false claims of a stolen 2020 election.
Our primary focus is not to get out the vote. It's to make sure they don't cheat, because we have all the votes you need. Fraud on the American public.
I just want to find 11,780 votes, which is one more than we have.
Later organizing phony slates of pro-Trump presidential electors.
A Republican candidate faces charges tonight for stealing ballots during a voting machine test. Police arrested Larry Savage Jr. this morning for theft and destroying or misplacing a ballot. CBS 4's Michael Van Scoik explains why the Madison County prosecutor calls this an attempt to undermine election integrity.
This is corruption. This is corruption at its core.
It's Republicans.
According to Portland police, an incendiary device was placed inside a ballot box. Police also released a photo of a suspect vehicle believed to be connected to the incidents. The ballot box, set on fire in Vancouver, Washington, was at a bus station. Video shows burned ballots being shoveled out of the boxes.
The ballot box's fire suppressant didn't go off as planned, and the result was that hundreds of ballots were either completely destroyed or severely damaged.
He's already laying the groundwork to not only claim that there is cheating in the election, but that the whole state is involved in it.
posting on social media, Pennsylvania is cheating and getting caught at large-scale levels rarely seen before. If that sounds very familiar, it's because Trump did the exact same thing 4 years ago in the very same state.
Because they've already started cheating.
There were false claims about election fraud when Donald Trump lost. This time, Donald Trump won, and you think the election was free and fair. Do you see there's a little bit of a...
No, I think the Democrats got to ask, why did we
there?
go from getting 81 million to getting 70 million? What happened to those 10 million people?
He lost in 2018. He lost in 2020. He lost in 2022.
Postmaster DeJoy, who was appointed by the Postal Service's Board of Governors, was in his prior life a major donor and fundraiser for President Trump.
But I'm serious. These are the kind of guys you like to smack in the ass.
That's the question we can verify. No, the president cannot remove the Postmaster General. That power lies with the Board of Governors.
How much longer are you planning to stay?
A long time. Get used to me.
Get used to me. Get used to me.
As far as my commitment to see our plan through, I'm here until I can see it tangibly produce the results we intended to.
If you have a mail-in ballot, get that damn ballot in, please, immediately, because they've already started cheating. Vote early, vote absentee.
So, turns out, voting works. It's real. As much as we fucking thought they had it rigged, as much as we thought there was shenanigans and bullshit, and it's just a puppet show, and there's no way anybody could buck the system, turns out voting is still real.
Go to bankyourvote.com to sign up and commit to voting early.
The former president is now endorsing the new Republican National Committee strategy called Bank Your Vote, encouraging not just early voting, but vote by mail, which was more popular for Democrats nationally and in Florida in 2020 and in last year's midterm elections.
We must defeat the far left at their own game.
Like, how far ahead is he? He's ahead by 100 points. That seems like a lot.
Yeah, and you're like, what is it? And some channels are like, and then every channel's kind of different.
Yeah. They had different numbers. I was getting a different number off my Apple News update than I was getting off of CNN. And then I was texting people like Tulsi and JD Vance. I was getting a different update. Apparently, Elon created an app and he knew who won 4 hours before the results. So as the results were coming in, 4 hours before they called it, Dana White told me, Elon was like, I'm leaving. It's over. Donald won. Somehow or another. I don't know what he's getting, where he's pulling his data from, but he had like the most accurate data. I don't know how he did it, but Dana said he had an app, and he was like showing him. He's like, it's over. He fucking left. Dude just left.
It is odd, you'll concede, that Elon Musk would have an app that gains early access to data related to voters, don't you think?
Not one for conspiracy theories, and it makes me uneasy to even question the results of an election. But if you hear that and you think, if that's true, big if, and Elon Musk knew the results 4 hours ahead of time, then he had probably access to that Starlink data. And if he had access to create an app with that data, could he have changed that data?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Essentially, the notion is he'll stop at nothing to win these races.
My instruction, we don't need the votes. I have so many votes. He says this all the time now.
My instruction, we don't need the votes. I have so many votes.
We don't need votes. I tell my people, I don't need any votes. We got all the votes we need. I don't need votes. We don't need votes. We got more votes than anybody's ever had. You don't have to vote. Don't worry about voting. The voting, we got plenty of votes.
All of this is weird. But telling voters, do not bother to vote for me. It doesn't matter if you do. I don't need your votes. That is a thing that should prick up your ears. Because what that means is that he doesn't think he needs to win the vote to win the election. He doesn't think he needs to win the election in order to take power. He thinks something other than votes is going to determine whether or not he gets back in the White House. At Rolling Stone today, they profile 70 different election officials who have been put into position in the swing states of Arizona, Georgia, Michigan, Nevada, North Carolina, and Pennsylvania, who are election denialists. At least 22 of these election officials have already refused or delayed certification processes in recent elections. They are not counting on the vote. And in fact, Trump is now repeatedly saying the vote will not matter.
I would sincerely recommend, while Biden has absolute immunity, that he has his DHS work with state officials to examine the election results in key states. That would help alleviate concerns that Trump and Elon Musk somehow cheated to win. This investigation needs to conclude well before the electors vote in each state on December 17th to cast their ballots in the Electoral College. That isn't happening right now, to our knowledge, but I do think some kind of reasonable investigation is just that, reasonable. And I don't know why that can't happen. Odd that the right, as represented by Jim Jordan, for example, now feels that this is a free and fair election, yet the last one he said was stolen. So we're confronted with that. He was on CNN.
Election integrity when you lose and not when you win.
No.
Won last night in pretty convincing fashion, securing the Electoral College and the popular vote, which means for the first time ever, he'll accept the results of an election.
Do you believe that the 2024 election was free and fair?
I do.